Hey, it's Shane from Procheck, and today we're going to do some stuff on the N80. All right, first on the hit list today, we're going to do some Weathershields. These are slimline ones, 4x4. eBay, but you can pick them off their website as well. They're not very expensive. They're just double-sided tape on. I went the tinted ones to go to the black and white sort of thing we've got going on. We've also got a locker kit coming section as well, so we're stuck into that. All right, so we've got the visors here, the Weathershields. In the instructions it says to do a dry run first, so you can sort of work out where it needs to go, and we also need a bit of a clean down just so the double-sided tape sticks on, so we'll get stuck into that. So all we need to do is basically find the corner of the glass and just make sure we get a rough idea where it sits, and then we'll just make sure we clean that area, and that way the tape will sit and stick. All right, so they recommend an alcohol wipe or a wax and grease or a prep sol. We've just got some brake cleaner here, mechanic solvent, which dries up after you've cleaned it so it doesn't leave a residue. So we'll just give this a nice clean down. And I'll do the same on the back. I'll do the same thing on the other side. Now the next step they ask for is just to heat up the glue here on the double-sided tape with a heat gun. Now we don't have a heat gun, I have a butane torch, but that might melt it a bit too quick. So we let them sit out in the sun for 5 or 10. They're actually getting pretty warm, just a touch already, so we'll let them sit there for 5 or 10 minutes and we shall get them stuck on. All right, these have been sitting out in the sun for a little bit. Now what I like to do is just peel off the back corners just a little bit. Just enough to hold it in place when you pull it off. But what I do is just fold it back just a little bit and have that little tab hang out the top. So when we put it on, you'll see that we can just grab that little bit of material. Once you've got those little edges peeled back, just probably about 10 mil either side, just so you can get enough material there of the actual sticker to stick on the door frame. You find yourself locating the weather shield where you'd like it to sort of sit, and you just press on those corners just a little bit, and then that'll just hold it in place. So now you can see where it needs to go, and you can make sure that you're happy with it, that it's nice and square and fits around the door where you want to go. I think I'll probably just adjust this one a little bit just so you get in the right spot. So get in the door frame. All on the frame there, and that should stick down there nicely. So now all you need to do is where these red dangles are hanging out, you just pull that out nice and slow and then push down on it. And then you've got your tape out and it's taped on. I'll do a zoom in on this top one so you can see. So as you can see, we've got this little red bit here, just the tag. You just pull that out all the way down. And you don't have to try and fight the window mould. You can literally just sit it on there and you're good to go. And there you have it. One frame all done. All right, we'll get stuck on the other side. All right, so the back ones are a little bit different to the front. Well, same process, just a little bit different in how they fit. They don't seem to follow the body of the car or the body of the door as such. So you need to follow this back section here. I'll come over this side so you can see, hopefully. And you need to follow that window moulding around there, which then leads you to sit on the front of the door frame here. So it doesn't sit as far forward on this one. Actually, well, this is further forward on the door frame here. So we'll get that all lined up. We'll do the same thing. We'll pull a little bit of red tape back and we'll get it stuck on. After you've let them sit in the sun for a little bit, they actually do get the red tape off a little bit easier, the plastic off the tape. So the same thing as we did before, we'll just try and find that nice edge where you want to sit. And that should sit there nicely. I'll just show you under here. But under here, you can see where that moulding sits right on this section here. You want that to sit on that lip, and then that'll follow all the way down and around the door frame. So now we can peel that out and get it stuck down. So the same thing, just get it all make sure we're where we want to be. We pull down on this front edge just to hold it in place. And we can pull this one here. Again, no pressure on the moulding, just leave it all nice and loose. You pull all this out and then you can just push it in place. You need to put a fair bit of pressure on just to make sure that double-sided tape sticks on. It is quite adhesive, so it should stay on there pretty well, but you just want to make sure. And as simple as that, we've done 2 weather shields on the driver's side. I'll repeat the same process on the passenger side, then we get into the fun stuff, the locker. So this is the Anytime Diff lock kit. I haven't fitted one of these before in a Hilux. I fitted a heap in Navaras. They're a little bit more intensive than Navaras after reading these instructions. The Navara, I need to cut and splice wires and to take out wires. This one is disconnect the battery, open and remove the glove box, locate the diff lock control module, remove the plugs from the module, plug in the insert harness, remove your center console, install the switch, reinstall the center console and glove box and reconnect the battery. And you're done. So let's see how quickly we can get this done. Alright, so I've gone and disconnected the battery in the engine bay, so now we're getting into the glove box side of things. These are pretty easy. Inside here are just 2 little tabs, you can just twist them. I've already had that one out, so that's easy. And once you pull those, untwist them, the glove box actually comes out. That's the glove box out. Now our diff lock control module is apparently in here. Let's have a look. So this would be your ECU, this one here, the bigger one. Next to it is your diff lock control module. So we'll unplug that and we'll plug our patch harness in. We're just getting into the ECU wiring out of the way a little bit. Just unplug by pressing the button on the harness and we have the 2 plugs out. Now our plug-in harness kit here is all one piece, all together, ready to go, with a new switch, put it the right way so you can see it, with a locker button. So now it's just a matter of finding out what plugs go to what. So we've got a female side with the black, so we go male with the white. Go the right way, Shana, you'll be right. Click that in. And then the other side of that will then go into the actual control module. And then we have this side, the same thing. We find the male side to go with the female side. Click in. And then we click in the patch harness into the control module. And make sure it's clicking nice and firm. And that's that part done. So now what we need to do is tuck up this wiring. We'll probably put some zip ties in to hold up the relays and fuses they got here. And then we'll get this switch and we'll run the switch in through to the center console, which is just over here. I'll move the camera and we'll get stuck into it. Alright, so we'll leave the glove box open for now. I'll go zip tie all these harnesses up, but just for now, just so I know where we're going to have any extra harness hang over from this switch. And we'll leave that all open so we can stick our hand behind. We need to get into this bottom switch panel down here, but to get to that, we need to remove this top section. So if you come in behind here, just where this little stopper is for your glove box, you can just stick your screwdriver in behind there and you won't damage it, you won't see any damage. And you just give it a little lever out, and that can just sort of slide across out of the way. Now if I get the camera, you can see we have clear access down in behind there. I can stick my finger in behind those little switch panels and pop the switch out. Alright, so let's see if I can get this enough out of the way so you can see like that. Alright, so now we've got these little switches here. You've got, depending on what you've got, I've got a trailer brake, but I've got 2 empty spaces here, but I think I'll just run it nice and close to the downhill descent control and keep all a part of everything. And in behind here is similar Tow Pro Elite and everything like that. That's all we fitted up with before we got the car. So we'll push this panel out. So you should be able to just push in from behind. You use your man muscles. Like that. And out comes your little switch. Or switch cover. Undo the new switch. Make sure you put the switch in the right way up. We can actually pull the cable through first if we go around Shannon, because you don't want to have it squeezing behind the panel there. Squeeze that in and around behind the trim and poke it out through the hole. And then we just literally plug this in so it's clicked in. Make sure it's the right way up. And click this back into the switch. That's easy as that, we're done. So now we're going to do the hard part of just making it look pretty and put it all back together. So we do need to hide this down a bit further because you couldn't put the glove box. Click that in. A lot of stuff back in the glove box is falling out. We even got a turbo with all the 20 kilowatts of boost. Thanks GCG. Pull it out, turn it around. We're good to go. That's it. Good to go. Glove box is half open, that's why. Sick. Done. That's all back in there, so we can close that down. We can push all this wiring and shooting back in. Give a bit of love tap, click the dash back in, and we're good to go. Now, you may be wondering why we finger diff lock into a four-wheel drive that already has diff lock when you engage four-wheel drive. There's a few different reasons. One, if you tow a boat, like we do, dropping the boat in the water can sometimes be, depending on where you are, a little bit tricky. If you don't want to have to engage four-wheel drive low, you can put the locker in and get yourself out without getting in trouble. The other is this reason. So there you have it. There's a couple of good reasons there why you'd want to use it. Obviously off-road as well, if you're out on the dirt and you just want to engage the rear locker. It's pretty easy to do. I'll go through now and show you why, or I'll show you how to turn this locker on. Show you why, well that's up to you. Now to engage the locker, all you need to do is press the actual locker button in. It'll start flashing and the relays are clicking in the glove box. You just need to drive forwards just enough and that locker engages. Now that locker is in, and if you want to take it out, you just simply press the button and then the locker is out. So you have it, that's our diff locker and our Weathershield install. Just a quick and easy one today, nothing too full on. Now, the question is, do you want to see more of this or more of that? Let us know in the comments below. Shoot us a message, let us know would you like to see more of the drifting sort of stuff or would you like to see more of the four-wheel drive accessory sort of stuff. We can sort of focus a little bit more on doing the four-wheel drive accessory on customers' cars, as well as my own. We've got a few more things to do on that thing yet as well. Or we still have plenty to do on this thing as well. So make a comment below, let us know what you want to see. And also make sure you hit that like button and hit subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Whoa. Almost forgot. Those diff locker kits, they will be on my website before this video is live. Make sure you check out our website, www.procheckautomotive.com.au.